Welcome back to Are We the Only Ones? I'm Kathy, and today I'm here with Vanessa Yee-Chan, who you've all met before because she has come on the pod before. And we're doing a follow-up because I've missed her. And I wanted to talk to her, and I figured, you know what? Why don't we discuss like what's going on with you in New York and what is the cannabis industry looking like over there? How has it progressed? And anything else you want to talk about. So welcome, Vanessa. Welcome back.
Hi, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for having me again. And very excited to see you and talk to you.
So I was just telling I was like saying, oh my God, I love the color of your room. So I always love like a colorful, we got a little colorful
Yeah.
vibes going on today, which is nice. A little framing out instead of like, even though black is my power color, it's nice to like get outside of your comfort zone every once in a while and add a little flavor, I
Yeah.
guess. So like, I love not having white walls. That's very, right? Like
Yeah.
everybody has white walls. So if there's ever a color in a room, you're like, hell yeah, or wallpaper. Like
Yeah,
it's great.
it's
That's
great.
why I love Alta too. It's the right color.
Yeah.
That
Pink.
blush color.
Yeah,
Oh my
I
God.
got pink cranes in my bathroom, so some like water cranes and stuff like that. So really nice and everything like that. Yeah. Yeah, so New Year. It's been very, it was a crazy like the winter's been, it was very good and everything. It was busy. Now there's been decline in cannabis. It's really
Really?
challenging. Yeah, I mean, just because of the weather being really cold, it's now it's being treated more like a regular retail shop. So the cadence is going to be a little bit slower, you know.
Oh, you
Um,
got to do
of
delivery.
course, yeah. No, we have delivery.
Oh, you have
It's just
delivery.
yeah, we have delivery.
Mm,
Just, tour most people in our area know, we have tourists, that's our biggest draw.
hmm
And so right after the holiday season, a lot of tourists just kind of leave and stuff like that. But, we have our study regulars and, so we are doing it, but it's just like a dip a little bit because of it's just following the natural cadence of retail, I think. We have three, four legal dispensaries around us. I have two illicit dispensaries on either side. So, unfortunately, it has been the biggest challenge for me this past year, just trying to shut down those dispensaries. Been working with Assembly Member Grace Lee, Senator Kavanaugh to shut them down. They've written letters. Got the Department of Buildings involved, and I've been talking to legislators. I just had a call with I co-founded this group called the Cannabis Retail Alliance of New York, and we're comprised of small independent retailers that are operating. We're not licensees, we're active operators, and we're not like a multi-state operator where we have huge funding behind it. We're literally we go into our stores every day and we're there. So we kind of really know, we were trying to advocate and we're creating this group because we're trying to advocate for legislative and regulatory um, influence so that we can shape it. And, because we are dealing with the everyday problems that are happening as, we're operating and, trying to navigate that and really uh, provide kind of some type of feedback to the legislators to kind of shape some of the agendas to benefit us and to kind of make it a more sustainable industry for us in the future. This because we're trying to be in this in the long term, and so, really trying to bring that up with them to shape certain things, that could help us in the long run, like little things, that really could help us. So yeah, it's been a mess a little bit. We also had we had that proximity issue where the governor had brought up the fact that there was a the former director of the Office of Cannabis Management in New York State had released in July basically saying that, they measured incorrectly. And so they were measured for this whole time they've been measuring door to door, but it's supposed to be by the letter of the law, it's supposed to be property line to property line. So that
mm.
changed a huge thing because a property line could be in a whole city block versus front door to front door. So if you're measuring that, so that is still up in the air. There were still 152 dispensaries that were still being that would have that are actually operational that violated that rule because
Whoa.
when measured by property line that they're encroaching on the school like a public school ground if you measure their property line to there. So that is still kind of so they made an extension to hear it out into February, mid-February 15th or so. And so the judge has that until then to make a decision whether they're going to be grandfathered in or how they're going to be treated, how is it going to be moving forward, what are the applications, with the current licensees that are still waiting for approval on their hard-earned locations that they had, we're still not sure if they're going to be measuring it based on the old rule, the new rule. Because if it's based on the new rule, then they would have to find probably new locations, even though it
Oh
takes
yeah.
much to secure those things. Anyway. So that's kind of been in the where we've been talking to a lot of legislators trying to like let's pass the bill so that we could, the law so that we could grandfather those people in and they don't even after the renewal, they don't have to move as long as they're, operational and they already secured a license. However, whatever they treat the new licensees as, that's up to them, but like at least the 152 that have been affected that are actually actively operating should be grandfathered into the old, to the new law,
Yeah.
because they're already open and active. So that's kind of what we've been working on, and then obviously shutting down the illicit shops. But that's also very challenging because a lot of it is being done by organized crime, and so fighting organized crime is a really
Oh,
big thing that. Yes, that a lot of legislators on, they're, on the optics plus side, they do want to fight it, but on the other side, but underneath it all, it's a very hard task to do. And even I'm
yeah.
pulling in multi-agency efforts to shut down the things. It's just they just continue to be open. So, it's really they've been shut down 6, 7 times this year, still like last year, and still continues to be happening. So yeah. That's the weed world in a nutshell a little bit. I think that it's not an easy market to be in at all, and not an easy industry. There's a lot of competition. The
Hmm.
saturation just beyond, I think there's 200 stores alone in New York City, so and then the rest of them 200, 250 stores, and then the rest of them are all over the statewide. But New York State it's actually really huge. I mean, it's huge. You can drive 10 hours up, 8 hours up, and you're still in New York. So it's a very big state, and people don't realize that. But that saturation is really getting to the point where it's where you have legal dispensaries battling each other and also battling illegal dispensaries. So it's a turf war a little bit,
Yeah.
where we have to compete a little bit on each other. So that's why it's been challenging, I think.
Yeah. I think um I think what you've been really good at is like cross promoting things inside your space instead of it just being all about weed. You
Yeah.
have like events and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
feel like if I was in New York, I'd want to go there if there was like a spa day,
Yeah.
like spa Sundays or something.
Oh
And
yeah.
then you could get like a hand massage or like go get whatever. And
Yeah.
but see, this is the thing. There was some place that I don't know off right now. There was some state that is talking about allowing weed lounges on
Yeah.
premises.
New
I think
Jersey.
that's what you guys need.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
next move.
it's actually in the law, the MRTA law for New York State. It is on-site consumption lounges are mentioned in there. However, the regulatory side, the OCM has not said anything about any type of regulations for it at all. So they have not
Mm,
even drafted the regulations. But I was talking to Majority Leader Crystal People-Stokes yesterday, 2 days ago. And she's like, look, we hear you, but it took 8 years to get the law created and legalized. Okay. It's not gonna, and we're already maybe we're about, we're 5 years into it on the after legalization. It's there, she's like, it's not gonna happen for another maybe 5 to 10 years to actually stabilize the whole thing. Alcohol, she's like,
Yeah.
alcohol took 10 years to stabilize after
Yeah.
it was legal.
Yeah.
So you have to look at it in relative to those things. Like things are can't happen as quickly as, yes, we may be the pioneers, quote unquote, being the first ones open. I was the 201st dispensary open in the state. So yes, it's a very tough position to be in because yeah, we're pushing the rules, we're testing all the rules out, and we're figuring out and trying to navigate. They're changing, ever-changing rules all the time. So, it's definitely one of those things that you have to keep in perspective when you're like in any new industry, which is also very unique in itself because there's very few places where you can say like you're opening a business in a completely brand new industry that has never existed before,
Mm.
So I think that all of that takes a lot of it's hard. It's a hard business, sometimes, just
Well,
trying to.
this is the funny thing about New York and compared to like California culture, weed culture, is that in New York, it's on the street everywhere. So when I'm in New York, which I like noticed the difference was that you could just light up a joint. Well, you can light up anything, but you can light up a joint and walk
Yeah.
and just smoke, and there's no problem. But you can't sit at a park.
No.
So, like, how do they even enforce that? The park situation? Did they give tickets, or did they not even enforce it? Because as far as I can
They
tell, it
probably
wasn't
would
like
not enforce
enforced.
it. I don't
Okay,
think it's
but
enforced. That,
people,
yeah.
except for in Central Park,
Yes.
people basically adhered to the you can't smoke in a park rule,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting because New York normally, like, when it comes to jaywalking,
Yeah.
don't give a F. So, like,
Maybe
I would sort
Washington
of,
Square Park, I would say they still
you
allow
could,
that.
well, again, I'd say a park of a certain size that
Yes.
has like a lot of foot traffic that's communal, like community, think like rush hour vibe
Right.
traffic, as opposed to like a
Or
park
children's
that's like,
playground,
right. So, like, well, Central Park has children's playground, but it's so big.
but
And
it's so
then
big.
Washington Square Park has also don't they have a children's playground? No?
No, I
Do
don't
they
think
not?
so.
Oh, they don't. Okay. So I don't know, I recall being there with my kid in a stroller, but I don't remember going to a playground. I just remember being there. So I was like, okay. So I think that what really makes sense is just basically you just have like the civilians, the consumers, they just basically like buy from wherever.
Yeah.
And if there's a coffee shop next door, you could potentially get coffee, or don't you can stand in front of that coffee shop and do it, right? Or would the
Yeah.
would the would the cannabis dispensary get in trouble for being even like, is there a certain distance they have to be away from your location to like consume?
No.
Okay. So
Once
like
it's on the
here, you
public
can't
sidewalk,
consume.
yeah, once on the public sidewalk, you can consume in front
Okay.
because it's a
Here,
public sidewalk.
I feel like it would be extremely strict in California if you were driving and they pulled you over and you could smell it. I think they would
Yeah.
have a problem with that. Um,
I think they still have issues with that here too, but the one of the reasons why the police in terms of enforcement and it's been really challenging is the reason for this whole cannabis thing was to fight the war on drugs, fight the optics of putting black and brown people back into jail and criminalizing cannabis usage and consumption. So they are very hesitant to do any of that stuff because of the optics of like, the governor saying, okay, well, we want it to be, acceptable to do this, but then, and release these people and give them a leg up because they were convicted of marijuana crimes. But then at the same time, in terms of enforcement, they also have to consider that because then they are very hesitant enforcing it because then it's going to be the same thing about criminalization.
Right.
So, that's their hesitancy with enforcing anything.
Yeah.
And
Because it can
even
be
the
used
even
as
the illegal.
like a an entree to arrest somebody on
Yes.
plausible, right? Like almost like probable cause.
Yeah.
And then the cop has plausible deniability that they're not doing anything wrong if you have this as your entree. So I totally get that. I get that for sure. Because it's been abused. Statistically, we know for a fact it's been abused. We know for a fact that like weed crimes are like 20 years. Like, are you kidding me for an ounce? 20
Yeah.
years? Like, that's nothing. Like,
Years.
weed is nothing. Like, what are you doing? So, but the other thing that's really interesting is because weed culture in most of the big cities is so accepted now, even though it's not consistent. You have people that like fly to other countries and completely forget that like weed laws in other countries are extremely strict.
Yeah.
Like if you have any on you in certain countries, you're going to jail for like
Oh yeah.
life,
Yeah.
or you can be executed in certain countries. So
Oh
that's
yeah.
what I think
I'm
is
going to
also kind of,
Bali and I am not bringing it.
yeah, I have a friend that went to Egypt and he's like, normally he brings some sort of something. He was like, it was not worth it. It was not worth the risk. I brought nothing. I'm like, dang, that's crazy.
And I'm not either. Southeast Asia? Mm-mm.
Yeah, I definitely, and plus I think the canines have gotten better. I'm
Yeah.
sure. So like
Yeah.
maybe in the beginning you could bring weed pens through wherever nobody knew, but now I don't know that that's so safe. I think that there are times that either you smell or the thing you're if you don't remember to like clean wipe down with like a Lysol or Clorox wipe your whatever if you carry flour anything
Yeah.
in a backpack or a bag and you forget to wipe that thing down and you take it through international, there's potential for that to trigger a canine, right? So I've seen canines get people that only had pens that were wrapped, that had not even been opened. Now,
Wow.
whether that was them because they smelled or like their bag smelled, or it was just that, either way, they had no flour on them at all, but
Hmm.
they did have this pen. And the dog, I'd never seen a dog get somebody with just a pen that was sealed, fully wrapped, brand
Right.
new, not in, unopened, right? So I was like, holy moly, like, is it just that good? But you just have to think about like, oh yeah, I guess as time has progressed, especially in America,
Hmm.
they're training these dogs to maybe handle candy. Like maybe
Yeah.
they can smell it in candy now. Maybe they
Hmm.
can smell it in like synthesized pills. Maybe they can
Yeah.
smell it in that,
Yeah.
right? So or maybe if you I don't know that if you ate a lot of it you would smell. I don't know if
Yeah.
that's necessarily true, but definitely, residue on
All
clothing,
that.
jackets, whatever. And then if you're going through a zero tolerance country like Dubai, like anything that's like a Muslim
Yeah.
forward
Yeah.
legality kind of like
Don't
leading,
do it. Don't
don't
do
do
it.
it.
Don't
Don't
do
do
it.
it.
Don't do
Because they don't
it.
take well to alcohol. So they're definitely got gonna take well to weed. And like if you don't have you need to have the transitional process that we've had
Yeah.
of like how many years now with California first, like Colorado first, then California, all these ones first, and then New York.
Mhm.
So
I
by the
mean,
time
it's
you
still
got
not
it,
federally legal, so.
right. So that's why like when people get like accustomed to their own culture and they forget if you take that on a plane,
Yeah.
like Grenier, right? She
Yeah.
had weed pens
Hence.
and they
Yeah.
were in, I think it was like a bubble wrap envelope and she had them in the packages. I was like, you didn't even take them out. Like you had them in the thing. Because she just been so accustomed, like it's totally fine in America,
In
right?
America.
So
Yeah.
I totally understand how you could forget and not
Mhm.
even think like I take everything apart or like don't even bring it at all. Like it's not worth it. It's not worth jail time
Yeah.
for that,
Yeah.
just
And it's
wait.
not pharmaceuticals, so it can't be treated as a medicine yet. So,
Yeah, and I also wonder like you'd also be better off if you were going to accidentally carry. You'd be better off having at least a prescription for
yeah.
it in your
Yeah.
home country to be like, well, in my home country.
Yeah.
So then they'd be like, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. And you can at least
Or
have a
medical
pivot.
card.
That's what I mean. But if you just go in recreationally and you have nothing and you just forgot that you have
No, but
I
it's
have,
like you can't it's like the same thing as negligence, right? Just because someone told you doesn't mean that you're still not responsible. So,
and it all depends on the person that caught you.
yeah, that too.
If the
That
person that caught you was like, dude, I know,
yeah.
or you seem nice. You know what I'm saying? You
Yeah.
might get by. You might. Going hot though, for sure. Don't flip out and start like,
No.
because if you start going like that, there's no way you're getting out of there. There's
Oh
no way
no.
because
No.
because
If you get
nobody
on the
likes.
defensive,
Oh
you're
yeah,
like,
like
you gotta
you're
be like,
done.
you're
You're good.
done. You're done.
And don't just start crying either.
No.
Just
No.
be
All
like,
the
oh my God,
waterworks.
I forgot. No, that does because that
The
almost
work.
that guilt level that you're like, oh God, this person is really guilty if they're crying to that level. If you're like, oh my God, I come from a country. Oh my
No.
God.
So
You
yeah.
can maybe get away with that. Maybe.
So
Maybe.
definitely I would not like I mean, we have a lot of international people coming. I mean, we've had people who come from Dubai, and they bought a lot of stuff. And I don't know if they were going to consume at all on there unless they were also traveling on a private thing because they
Yeah.
spent a lot of money and they maybe could get by without going through some of the, maybe the official channels, I guess, that you can say. But I had a couple who bought so much stuff and they were from Dubai and they were like, we can't get that there. But I don't know how I mean, we didn't talk about how they were transporting anything.
Oh, you
They
don't
were
think they were just going to use it here?
they could have been just using it, but it was a lot of stuff to be using in just like a 2 week period, honestly. It was a
I mean, you'd be
lot.
surprised how much a person can go through.
True, true, true. But
Because
I
they have
mean,
their entourage too. It's not just them.
true.
It's
Yeah.
their
I mean,
entire
this
traveling
one
crew.
was a couple, so like I don't know like what maybe they had more people in their group, so but it was
Yeah.
just it's highly legal. But yeah, so we have a lot of international people coming through and I always tell them it's not legal to cross state lines or anything like that. It can be done. I mean, people do it, but that's at your own risk. So, it's not, just remember it's not legal to cross, into Europe. But, I know that we've all kind of done it and we've gotten through. It's,
Well,
kind
so
of,
the only reason that I even know is because I've accidentally done it and then found it. I'm going, oh, I forgot this was in here. I'm so glad nothing happened. You know what I mean? I'm always trying to clean stuff out and then I go, oh my God. You know what I mean? So that's when I'm like, oh my God, I made it through. I didn't even know I had it
Oh
like
my God.
that.
So
So,
the funny story is that my son took my one of my backpacks he was on a school trip to Peru and he found it. He's like,
oh,
Mom, I think, and he doesn't consume it. And I was like, throw that stuff away right now. You're gonna get kicked off the trip. If you don't throw it away right now,
oh,
like because it was at the bottom of a bag that it was in a Ziploc bag, so it wasn't
did
like
it make
labeled.
it to Peru
It made
and
through to
found it?
Peru.
Oh,
He found it in the hotel room when he was,
he's so lucky.
packing his. I was like, "You're lucky. You were so lucky that nothing happened." I mean,
He's like, you are so lucky.
yeah, it's like you
Because you
were
would have
so
felt terrible. You would have felt
so
awful.
bad because it
Oh
was
my
like the
God.
beginning of the trip, and it was like a 10-day trip to Peru with his, school and stuff like that.
Oh, he's never taken one of your backpacks ever again.
Oh no,
No, he'll know better. He's gonna be like, "Can I have my own backpack?" And nobody
yeah,
touches backpack.
nobody touches
And then
backpack.
this is my traveling bag. Because seriously,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
my God,
And I
dude.
was like, because I was like, oh, take this hiking backpack. So, you can go. It's a, foldable backpack, whatever. And so, yeah. And then he texted me from Peru and he's like, I found your gummies. And I was like, oh my God. I was freaking out. I was like, oh,
Oh,
I throw
gummies.
it away, flush it down the toilet. Like, don't even leave it in the
Okay,
thing.
gummies are okay.
Yeah, it
Gummies
was just
are the
gummies.
easy. Yeah, that's the easy. No, I accidentally more than one time. I accidentally brought weed pens.
Oh, yeah.
International 3 times,
Yeah.
different countries. And I was like, oh my God, like I didn't know that was in here. Cause like a small, somewhere you put in like a
Yeah.
toiletry bag and you
Yeah.
completely forgot about it.
We got about
Some
it.
stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, like, after I saw
It
that one
happened.
person pop, I was like,
Oh, yeah.
no, I'm taking everything.
Yeah.
I like wipe everything down. I
Yeah.
make sure nobody's carrying it because it's not worth the inconvenience. It is so
Not worth
scary.
it. No,
It
it's
is
not worth
so
it.
scary.
And it's
And
okay.
then
You can have a tea break. you know,
Dude, that's when you just start drinking a little bit more. If you really need to chill,
something.
just drink a shot of tequila and you're good. You're
And you're
good
good.
for a while,
Yeah.
you know? So that's why I'm
I
like,
wish I could.
okay.
I don't drink, so I was like, "Ugh, I
Oh,
wish."
I have an interchangeable thing. I don't really drink that much, but I have enough interchangeableness to be like,
Okay.
okay, I can do that. But I drink very good tequila. I'm talking like 1942, like smooth.
I don't drink at
Smooth.
all, so I
I mean,
wish.
it's better not
I wish
to.
I could, but I
But
can't.
see, I plan my trips around what I can do. However, this weekend I'm going to Las Vegas, and Vegas, oh, this is something you should know just because you're in the business. Las Vegas is so strict in their hotels. MGM properties the most strict.
Mm-hmm.
If you have any flower or weed pen and you use it inside the room, they have special sensors in there and they will charge you $500 on your card just like that.
Oh
You
my God.
cannot fight it. They're like, nope, the sensor went off. We have very good sensors in there. There's signs everywhere in the room. So they tell you, like, we have sensors in here. If you
Yeah.
do it and we smell it, we will charge you $500. Like, and there's no like fighting it.
No cutting it.
And
Yeah.
so I actually book around that. Like I won't book at MGM or I have to physically be like, so this time we're staying at a park MGM. We're staying at the park MGM, which you've never stayed at before. And I'm starting to cut back. So we're using this to try to like mitigate. So like, all right, we're gonna totally go out. Like we don't Cosmopolitan has a balcony, so we didn't have a balcony room. Everything else you have to like stay inside. So you have to like make your way out. And I usually ask them at the hotel, like, where am I allowed to smoke in this place, you know? And
Yeah.
they'll
Yeah.
tell you, like, okay, you can go here. Oh, you can do it in the room, nobody will care, or you have to leave. Okay. And so it's interesting though, you would of all the places you would think, because it's legal in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
I
totally
know.
legal. But for whatever reason, they have this like bullshit trap for
Yeah.
their so Eric I remember Eric had to go for he when he had a cannabis law practice. He went to one of their conventions in Las Vegas
Yeah. Yeah.
and everybody was talking about like, dude, this is crazy that they have this convention here and they don't like they
Yeah.
do this to us. Like that's nuts, right? So I was
Yeah.
like, wait, what? And that's when we started learning that they had converted with these special sensors or whatever.
Oh my God.
So
Crazy.
it's something that you'd want to know. You like which hotels can you be at so that you don't get or you just say I'm paying it.
I think when I went to that last conference, which was, I think it's MJ BizCon or something like
Yes,
that.
that's what it was.
So most people stay at the Cosmopolitan. So I
Yeah.
think that might be a little bit friendlier. But yeah, no,
No,
I know
it's the balconies too. So that
the
Cosmopolitan is the only hotel that has balconies.
yes. So
Everyone else is sealed in. So
oh,
and then the Cosmopolitan apparently that's where everybody meets at the Chandelier Bar for
yes,
all the networking. So you don't
yes,
even have to go into the events. You can just meet at
right,
that bar and do
right.
everything.
And they're doing everything.
So is
Mhm.
that so funny that like yes,
Yeah.
let's talk weed industry because we really know. I don't
Because we really
keep
know,
going
I
to
know. But yeah,
MJ.
no, that's where everyone meets up at the Chandelier Bar. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's where I stayed last time. So
yeah.
because that's where everyone stays,
So
apparently.
that's, I mean, I think it's interesting to see how like things that are legal in America still have these weird caveats. Things that are
Yeah.
industrial, like capitalist wise, profitable. Things that like these are the rules that we normally allow this stuff because it helps solve the tax dollars from it, also solves a lot of problems. Why are we vilifying this thing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what's so crazy to me.
I think it's also the stigma of smoking in general. I think, from the cigarette use now that there's a decline in tobacco use,
Yeah.
that stigma of smoking and, is the issue as well. Like even in New York City, you can't smoke in bars, because of that law back in the 2000s, I guess, in the early 2000s,
Hmm.
late 90s, 2000s. And so you can't smoke. And so that there's that contradiction between smoking weed and smoking tobacco. And so
Think of Vegas casinos. You can smoke tobacco in
on the
all of them
floor.
except the Park MGM.
Oh, interesting.
Every other casino though. So that's see the irony there. I'm like, wait,
Yeah.
so you can
But
smoke
can you smoke
tobacco,
weed in the
but you can't
casino?
smoke weed. No.
No.
If you smoke weed in the casino, it'll kick you out. They could technically like arrest you for doing it. So
Wow.
I've seen people get in trouble, but not like arrested.
That's it.
So I think it probably, I bet you if you're belligerent and like aggressive, maybe they would use that if they could as a way
Yeah.
to get you, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, like I've seen people full on with like a very billowy
Hmm.
everywhere in front of the Paris Hotel, which is directly across from the Bellagio. There's like a restaurant there that we would sit at, and it's outdoor. So it's
Yeah.
like we're literally me and the kids and
Yeah.
Eric were like, "Ugh," you
It's
know,
no
and you can't get them to move because it's public
public
property.
air.
But then there's like you're technically not allowed to do that,
Mhm.
so you could actually get in trouble. So that was like an interesting thing, like seeing the ebbs and flows of like what is accepted, what is not accepted, where. I mean, that is like almost like zones where it's okay and zones where it's not okay,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Whereas in California, you don't really smell it on, I guess in San Francisco, you smell it on the street,
Yeah.
but I don't smell
Yeah. Not like New
really
York.
anywhere. Yeah.
New York, you
And so
can
I feel
walking
like,
down the street, you can smell it everywhere.
and maybe
Yeah.
because it's car culture versus pedestrian culture,
Yes.
but
That also.
I still think it's interesting though that you don't have, that people aren't just like,
Yeah, I
I
mean
think
it's a
I thought I'd
completely
smell it more.
yeah.
It's weird. It's weird
Yeah.
that it's not more prevalent out here.
Acceptable. And it's like state by state rules, so that it really changes. And so like the culture does change state by state, where, like where what's acceptable, what's not acceptable and everything like that. So, it's something that's, interesting to see as a new industry coming about, like and how it develops like that. Trump did make an announcement about the whole that he wanted to federally
Oh,
deschedule it from
yes.
one fifth
The
of weed.
schedule. Yes.
Which would help in certain ways for me, just for the taxation purposes, because right
Oh,
now I'm
good.
with like a narcotic. So in that case, I can't write off a lot of stuff. So rent,
Dude.
I can't write off. I can't rent off my staff. It's
Okay, so
terrible.
taxation wise, you can write that off. But would the taxation, in terms of taxation, does that also mean that the taxes go down for the consumer because of this change that he just
N-
enacted?
No, not necessarily, unfortunately.
That's
Because
where.
the taxation that's happening right now is a state tax. A
Okay.
state and county tax, right?
Okay.
According to whatever, based on your state. So they set those standards. So I don't know what it is. I think in California, maybe it's 20% or something like that. In New York, it's 13%
Yeah.
taxes, everything like that, sales tax on it. So there, right now, there is no portion of that that actually goes directly to the federal government. There's no federal government, like a federal tax on it, right? Like
Yeah.
a state sales tax. However, the only thing is that if one of the advantage they could probably impose a type of license that federally that you would need to get in order to proceed. There's also the debate where if they did schedule it to three, that it would only be for medical in general only.
Mm.
It would restrict mom and pop shops from operating
Okay.
because on a federal because typically what Schedule 3 drugs are mostly like pharmaceutical drugs. So you're talking about big pharma coming in now and controlling the weed industry a little bit by having prescriptions where you would have to have a prescription to go to a medical and how it would be treated.
Hmm.
So there is that there is no clarity on where it's going to lead in terms of benefiting the mom and pop shops because or independent retailers because it could be where that could happen where they would be shut down because
Hmm.
of that scheduling because it's going to be controlled by big pharmaceutical companies and they're looking for it. I mean, honestly, it's just another way, I know tobacco industries, Philip Morris, they're really lobbying for some of this stuff. Curaleaf and the bigger companies are lobbying for it because they are medical. So they would
Hmm.
definitely benefit from, a
Yeah.
federal legalization because if Trump's agenda is going to be only medical, that really doesn't have any pathways for independent retailers or recreational use. So
Yeah.
that's remains to be seen what's going to happen,
But then if it becomes pharmaceutical, these are the things that I recognize off the bat. Pharmaceutical means that it's now covered by health insurance. Secondly, that means that people will fill that prescription
Yeah,
regularly, right?
yeah.
And then the next thing is that um, if you make it like that, then you also can't like bar it from hotels. You can't bar it from being used because it's medicine.
Hmm.
If it
Hmm.
becomes, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That is the fastest way for it to become federally legalized, I guess, is if it becomes a medicine only.
Yeah.
And then certain states get to keep it as recreational. So
Yeah.
from a federal level, it's medicine only, but then states level is still recreational. That is actually not the worst because then
It
you
is
can
not
get
the
it covered
worst.
by
It's just
insurance.
right. Yeah, it's not the worst, but it's just we don't know what that looks like right now. These
Yeah.
are all just theorizing about what it could be, what you're saying it could be, but we have no idea what that looks like. So that's the hesitancy about, federal legalization. I mean, one few advantages would be safe banking, credit card,
Yeah.
credit
Oh my
cards,
God.
accepting credit cards,
Transactions. Yeah, you could do credit card transactions and stuff.
interstate commerce. Those
Yeah.
can be, and
And
can
then
be,
taxes would be so helpful for all of
yes,
the state. Because it now,
being
right
treated
now,
as a regular business. Yeah. Hmm.
if every single state, including flyover states, could actually have that as an industry, they would actually find that they would have so much more tax money that they would be able to have infrastructure consistent. They wouldn't necessarily need federal funding anymore because they would have enough state funding because
Yeah.
it has so much revenue generating. And then I think honestly, like it's a communal thing. Like it
Yeah.
brings people together. And then you'd also find, I think, I mean, I know this is the other thing that I find. I I've been doing pickleball, which I found is a very interesting like community too. Now it's all retired people,
It is.
and
It
it's
is.
funny, the older they are, the better they are. Like the
They're
older
so
people
good.
kick.
My father-in-law is like amazing at it. Oh my
No, it's like
gosh.
a weapon. Like they
He
literally hit
like
the ball at
beats,
you, and you're like,
he can beat, he can kick my ass.
dude,
So
so
I'm
good.
terrible at it, but that's just me. I also don't practice enough, like he's there every day at the courts, like with
Dude, because
his
you got time.
friends and
You got
like,
time.
they coordinate, they got
Let me tell
like
you.
lots.
Apparently in Vietnam, there is a pickleball club in like Saigon. It's like
Mhm.
70 courts in one place. It's no joke. And then when I went and there are Vietnamese people that play in the community, and my uncle, I happen to move nearby one of my uncles,
Mhm.
by marriage. So he's an uncle by marriage, and we're like, oh hey. And so we play, and like I realized all the former ping pong players that were Vietnamese are good. Because
Yeah.
it's like the life-size ping pong, you
Yeah, it is
know?
like something ping.
It
Yeah.
is. It's life-size ping pong.
Or
And
small scale tennis. So either what sport, I
but
feel
I
like
played tennis. It's not like tennis. It's not like tennis. Tennis is exhausting.
exhausting. Yeah.
And you play singles more in tennis than doubles. Like, yeah, you have doubles, but
Yeah.
pickleball is a doubles
Double sport.
team. Yeah. You can play singles, but the rules are really based on having four people on the court. And
Right.
because of that, it's a very communal, like subbing in, like when you rotate and everything like that. The
Mhm.
general community itself is very nice. I
Yeah.
would love to see you finish playing pickleball and you go, you know what I mean? With
Yeah.
like, let's tell stories.
Yeah.
Tell me about your life.
I
Tell
know.
me you're
I
retired.
know.
Tell me about, you know what I'm saying? Like that, I think would be the ideal. If you could have a pickleball slash cannabis sort of like, if you had them near each other, the same way that it's good to have a Girl Scout cookie stand in front of, you know what I'm saying? Like how
Yeah.
they think about it. There's some things that kind of like you don't realize they go together, but would go together because you have people that have time,
Yeah.
they have leisure time, they want to be active, but then they also want to like chill out, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think what's really good about it is like you could put it in food. So I think like there's other ways you could do it where you could have restaurants, you could have other methods other than smoking,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I
I
kind
think,
of
I mean,
like,
it's becoming more and more popular too, with the older crowd too in general, like just, the retiree age and stuff like that, because they're still active and also just generationally, like they becoming more and more, like healthier and active. I think as we're moving into this kind of next thing where even us, I mean, for me, like I only have 6 more years left until I'm an empty nester, so I'm not that far away. And, I still feel like I'm really, like young and active. I'm still hiking. I'm still doing these things. I work out every day. I'm like very active. And like, so that kind of movement towards health, healthiness and being lifestyle, active lifestyle kind of goes hand in hand with, like that also consuming too, because a lot of people who come in have
Yes.
like more elements about pain and stress
Yes.
and things like that. So pain relief and all that stuff, it really does help. And for me, I also use it as like kind of like an anti-anxiety, anxiety
Oh, for
and
sure.
stress relief. So like for me, like I'm like when I have aches and pains, sometimes I'll have a balm that I put on there and it's like great and it works CBD or THC, in the combo and stuff like and that's stuff that is kind of coming new and it's more, it's a lot more popular now than when we were growing up. So like it's more becoming more and more acceptable. And I think having the older, generation kind of starting to accept it and use it on a daily basis, it's definitely starting to become hand in hand with that. And especially with their like lifestyles being much more active and using these natural kind of plant medicine to heal versus taking a pill or some type of chemical composition that they're like that they're consuming and stuff like that. So I think people are more directed towards that now, and the accessibility now is just so much, it's just there, in California, New York, all these states, like you're saying, like it's just there that it's available for people to use now. So it's
Are
just
you
definitely
allowed
an
to,
interesting position.
can you ship CBD products from your
Yeah.
store to anywhere in the United States?
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can.
Ooh, so we should come up with like a coupon code or like discount code for our like
Yeah.
listeners.
Yeah.
And then they can go into you have a store shop already for
Mhm.
bath
Yeah.
stuff, and they
Mhm.
can order from you. So they already know like this is legitimate, like
Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah.
Um, and so let's come up with something like that, and then we can do it for another episode where we say like this is the discount code, these are the items that you can, or you could say whatever items you want to do, and then like we could figure out that way. And then if there's people that come to New York, they can go visit the store
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
go
Yeah.
buy stuff, and then maybe get like a free gift or something,
Sure.
you know?
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
Like something like they you spend a certain amount of money, you get a free
Yeah.
gift, because I know that not everybody knows where to go. If they're traveling to New York and they don't know where to go, at least we can send people your way because
Yeah.
I obviously know what's up. And you just sometimes, like right now, I just went to my dermatologist and now she's going to come on the pod and we're going to talk about skincare and all the new stuff. But because I'm going to be using the stuff and trying it out, there's a certain like legitimacy from people listening versus like, did I get paid from some sponsor and you don't even like know if it's
Right.
good, you know?
Right.
And I'm really interested in finding out, like, in terms of the self-care, I'm in the I'm heading into the second chapter of my lifespan. And so there's a work-life balance of wanting to still be active and like use my mind, challenge my mind and do sort of work stuff, but I'm not trying to like grind as hard as I did when I was younger,
Mhm.
but also have work-life balance where you have mental health, not necessarily like sometimes therapy, but maybe therapy in different forms. So I have like therapy in um smoking flower and edibles and stuff like that, but also like going to Disneyland, going on vacations, going on cruises. I do Shaolin Kung Fu now. And
Yeah.
so like I'm starting with the sword. That's my new weapon that I have to do. I passed the hand-to-hand combat first belts, like couple belts,
That's
and then
awesome.
staff. I had to learn the staff, so now I've mastered the staff. Now I'm on
Cool.
swords. So like these little things are interesting as a person that develops after they've done like the hard part of the grind, the young, our
Mhm.
young years and we're like
Yeah.
partying still. When you pass the partying, you're familiar with partying, but you're like kind of over it. But you still have a healthy body that you want to use and a
Yeah.
mind that you want to keep healthy. These are sort of that's like where I'm at right now.
Yeah.
It's like, what hobbies can I have right now that do that? Right.
It's interesting because that you say that because like I just recently my lawyer invited me, my lawyer, cannabis lawyer,
Hey,
invited me to go dancing, and I'm like, okay, I haven't danced in like 15 years. Like and every time it's always like either it was for a bachelorette party or for something like in, just to kind of go out, but then you get hit on by all these guys and you're in your circle and you're like, okay, we need to like block everybody out because we're gonna think. But, it was interesting going into, we were in Bushwick, like Ridgewood area, and it's a club, and everyone were there, obviously was on some type of drug or anything like that, but everyone was just like, it was house music, and everyone was just like, in the zone and just doing their thing. And it's just like dance just to dance, and you're just dancing there for hours, just kind of in your kind of like, whatever. And it was just kind of like a moment where I'm like, I wish they kind of had this when I was younger. I feel like I don't really, or maybe I'm just hitting it at a different moment in my life where no one is bothering you. You have your little circle. Everyone is just kind of like in their moment and everyone's high or whatever and and just kind of relaxing and enjoying that thing. And so now I've been like, she's dragging me out. She's in her 50s and everything. And I'm like, it's fine. Like we can do these things now and not have the pressure of like, dating or finding people or drinking or, like things you could just be in that moment, and kind
Yeah,
of appreciate that and just like, I can dance for hours by myself in this corner and I'm cool. Like I am just, doing my thing. So it was definitely an interesting perspective, like going dancing after 15 years and like not doing that and being like, oh yeah, like this kind of fun. I was out until like 4:30 in the morning, which is like a rarity for me because I'm usually in bed by like 9:30.
yeah,
So I mean just enjoying that kind of moment where, as you're getting older, finding all these like different things and kind of revisiting stuff that
yeah,
you might have had a different experience when growing up, and then now you're just going at it at a different angle and perspective, and you're like, oh, this is kind of fun, like going back to it, and where you don't do it every weekend and you don't do it like it's only once in a while, but at least having that once in a while moment where you're in the moment, you're enjoying some music with some friends and just kind of chilling and you're in your own vibe and your own thing and nobody's bothering you. And it's kind of nice to see that. I feel like this specific place was really nice because I feel like it was the old club, people who went to the clubs in the 90s and the 2000s and then was like, you know what? I can make a better club because they had like digital lockers in the front. You stash all your stuff in there. You had clean bathrooms with attendants, but it was still in a warehouse and it was still like grungy and industrial. But you still had that aspect. And it was like unisex bathrooms, like long bathrooms and anything. Like nobody gave a shit if you were with the men's urinals or the women's whatever, but you had attendants like cleaning the bathrooms and they had like mints and all that stuff. I was like, where is this level of nightclub where we were growing up? Like, who didn't think of that? Like, like digital lockers, just lockers in general, like having that space and
dude.
just carry your stuff. So it
Talk
was
about
awesome.
becoming bougie, right? Like stuff that's not bougie but turning bougie.
Yeah.
I feel like switching topics here. Golden
Yeah.
Globes, movies, all this stuff. They're
Yeah.
all, I don't know if you watched, did you watch the Golden Globes?
A little bit, but not really. I just after.
So the big thing in actors and directors and they're like, oh, everybody, we need the audience to go to the movie theater. It's not the same to stream at home. You need to go to the movie theater and be around other people. Feel the pulse of the lights go down and the
Mm.
magic is there. I'm like, yes, I agree with that. I'm in SAG. I'm in the acting union, but I'm going to tell you this. Make the movie theater experience a little bit more bougie for us. That shit is dirty. It
Yeah.
is like, I feel like when I sit in the seats, I'm itching.
I mean,
I
I know.
literally feel itchy. I'm like, this is, and people, their manners are not there. It's not, it's like people yelling and all this. So you have to change it. You have to change the etiquette. Give me better food. I saw in China, they had hot pot
Yeah.
in movie theaters. Can you imagine being able to have
Like with
full hot
little
pot?
low lighting, with like little low lighting too.
Girl, you know,
I can't see
if we had hot pot or if we had good food like that,
good food like
you
that.
would go to the movie theater every Friday.
I
Why
totally.
wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you have
That's
dinner?
like dinner. The kids.
Like
Absolutely.
these people are not thinking. Don't beg us to get into the seats that you've not improved
Yeah.
while you're increasing your pay and we're increasing paying for the ticket. And
Yeah.
yet I'm itching when I'm
Yeah.
sitting in the seat. Like, it's dirty.
Yeah.
Ew.
And you're
When was
still
the
getting
last time
those
they
like
cleaned
little
these?
hard pretzel nuggets that are like
Girl.
nachos.
Dude, I mean, look, I'd be eating those nachos. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, no.
No, but
But
we need both. You need a little bit
I
of
need,
both. Like you can't
I
just
would,
have one.
can I get a potato chip with some carriers and creme fraiche? Please.
Please.
Can I get once a month the bougie dining?
Yeah,
Could
I
we
know.
get a weed
Well, I
pop up
mean, with the price point
movie
that it's
theater?
coming at, I think only bougie people can afford it because it's ridiculous. Like every time I go to theater now, it's like 100 and something dollars. Like I'm
Oh
like,
my God,
you're theater.
girl, we need to open a movie theater with food that
Yes.
serves weed dinners.
Oh my gosh. like
Dude.
infused.
Yes. No, I'm serious. If
So,
we can, as soon as we can figure that where we can do that, we got to do
yeah.
it. Because I've got chefs, I've got
Yeah.
Michelin star chefs. I know people that would love to
Well,
jump in and do that
you should just start
because they
off
can
by just
rotate.
having like Michelin star like food at a theater. Just start
Yes,
off with
even that alone, even that alone.
even
But
that
that's
alone.
we're not trying to pay $300 to sit and have
Yeah.
dinner. What
Dinner.
you do is you have the regular like Night House Cinema in Williamsburg. Have you been
Yeah,
there?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
They
yeah.
had good food. Like Carla, I think she was from the Chew and from Top
Hmm.
Chef.
Hmm.
She used to have one time, I don't know that regular, but one time she came in there and like made an entire, she did a pop-up night. But the food in there was always good at Nighthawk. And so I was like, dang, if you could get like this level of food at every theater, it would
Yeah,
change everything
everything.
about how Americans like spend their free time, honestly.
Right,
They would spend their
right,
free time totally in there.
right.
And now you add like if you're a parent and you can have a little like, I don't know, THC
Or just
drink.
cocktail,
Yeah.
like a
Like
mocktail.
and how much fun would that movie be? How much better would it be?
Oh yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm
Now
saying?
they I mean like I have a new product in my store called Canopy and it's like a bitters kind of thing and you make mocktails out of it and it's all weed and everything like that. But it's interesting because they're trying to cross over that and take advantage of that mocktail kind of conversion from, alcohol
Yeah, they're
to
called softs. It's a place called Soft Bar in Williamsburg, in Greenpoint,
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
by
yeah.
Carl Radke from Summer House
Yeah, like the
on
dry
Bravo.
bar. Yeah. No, I know.
I mean,
I know.
if I were you, I would literally go over there and talk to that guy and just be like, "Hey, I wonder if there's some collab because you don't have alcohol, but he is California sober.
Yeah.
So like, you could probably do some kind of cross thing there,
Hmm. Hmm.
provide tinctures in there, or like I don't know, like some kind of whatever. I don't know, some pop-up night where you just do it, just try it out. Because I feel like we have to think in different ways so that you rebrand it and
Yeah.
destigmatize it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it's really not a smoking thing as much as it's a wellness,
Yeah.
self-care.
Yeah.
And if you are heavier on like less smoking, more edible consuming, drinking consuming, then maybe you can help be in that rebranding process where it
Yeah.
becomes like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like not this like outsider industry still.
Yeah.
It's something as normal as like a coffee shop,
Yeah.
as
Yeah. I
normal as a
mean, we've
flower
already
shop.
kind of trended to that where we have the same people coming in every day for the same type, I want my one pre-roll for the day, like every day,
You have
I
people
don't
coming
know
every
what I had
day like that?
yesterday. Or yeah, every day. They have like the same people every day coming
Interesting.
in for like lunch break. They're like, yeah, I'm on break. I work around the corner, I just here for
Perfect.
my daily, thing. And,
Perfect.
my staff knows, like, oh, I'll get, I have it ready for you. It's like your coffee order. Like, how do you like it? Do you
See,
like a
those
sativa?
people, do you have a membership?
We have a loyalty program, like a loyalty thing. So.
Maybe even just create up a straight up membership where you have like a paid membership and you just like hook these people up. They come in every day here. We got it. And you just like have some kind of like prorated deal,
Yeah.
but then they bring, there's like a loyal, like they won't go anywhere else because of it, like ever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's, I didn't realize how important membership things were until much later. Like I remember somebody asked me to do it. Like, should I do membership? I think it was my parents. Should I do membership for my nail salon? I was like, no, I don't think people are like that.
Yeah.
Oh, was I wrong? So
Yeah.
now I know, like, oh, okay, this is how. Because once I finally signed up for membership, and I was like, oh, I'm not going to go anywhere else because I'm already a member here. So
Yeah.
I was like, oh, they got me,
I know.
got me, you know?
Well, it's concepts of
Especially if it's
like
nice.
Soho House and Dumbo House. It's like that
Oh,
membership
I've been to
only.
Soho House. Is it the
Yeah.
demo location I went to? I think it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
by
Yeah,
One
it's nice.
Brooklyn,
Yeah, it's nice. The
by
one
One Brooklyn Bridge Park.
one Vision Park,
That
yeah.
one, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
It has
nice.
a
They have
beautiful
really good
view of
food there.
South Brooklyn. Yeah, they have, I mean, South the Manhattan. They have
Yeah.
really good food right on the water. But yeah, no, it's one of those things where like I mean, yeah, I mean that's why those exist and they're, successful because people like memberships, you pay 5K and get in.
Is it more than that?
Huh?
I thought it was more than that. Is it only
It
5K?
could be more than that. I think back when, this is a
It
couple years.
started.
when it started, it
I'm
was like,
curious to know though. I'm curious to know because
sure.
like Club 33 is like 85K now, which is the Disney Country Club. Have you heard of Club 33?
I've
Do you know what
heard
that
of
is?
it, but
Yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah. Well, you get a lot for it.
I'm
Like you
sure.
get 5 tours, which are worth 5 grand, and you get an annual pass for both Disney World and Disneyland for 4 people. So you're two main contract holders and they're two designees. So you're like two children if
Yeah,
it's a family
yeah,
of four, or like you can designate friends if you want. And then they can come in and that pass, every time you hit the lightning lane, it turns green immediately. So you just walk in. So like, and you get valet parking for free at all the parks and hotels. So you
yeah.
park like, and so there's like things like, and I've heard, well, there's also the dining room at Disneyland, and then there's all the lounges at
Mhm.
both parks where you have to be a member to go into the lounge, and you can call in for the dining room. And Disneyland's the only one that has a dining room. But what it's also really good is networking. When
Yeah.
people know that you have that and it's like a business thing, oh, they almost like never want to stop doing business with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because just in case, like she might just let us go to the dining room. You know what I mean? Like you'd be surprised. But when they
right.
onboard you, I'm pretty sure Disney tells you like, don't tell anybody.
Oh
Don't
yeah.
do that because people
But
start like when I posted one time, I went and I posted a photo or a few photos in my Disney Vacation Club Facebook page. I had something like 25 unsolicited emails that just went to me begging to take. I didn't say like hit me up if you want to go at all.
right. Right.
It was just people I did not know giving me sob stories. This is like what a lottery winner feels like when all of a sudden you get random letters
Oh my
begging
God.
you to like give whatever money and I'm
Yeah.
not the member. This is just to try to get, I was like, dude, what? Like I'm not the member. I can't get you in anyway. And I
Yeah.
don't see why a member would want to like hang out with you or even
Right.
call you in because what can happen is they can lose their membership if the
Of
person
course.
they let come in does act out of
Right. They have to vet them.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there a lot of times they're like people don't want to they're like, "Oh, let me have a membership first for a year before I like let you use it or let like call it in or whatever." So
Yeah.
also people get weird. Some people just all of a sudden
Yeah.
pretend like they like don't know you anymore kind of vibe.
Yeah.
So I've seen both like where it's like
Wow.
people are yeah.
Look
So I
at
don't know
it.
how they on board, but they do it in a way
Crazy.
where they're very nervous about like sharing the information.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
blame them because people see you and then they come up to you and like give you a sob story to get you to go in. Like we're like, why would I want to hang out with a person that just begged me out of nowhere? So that's like, oh, and you get like VIP viewing for all the fireworks, all the parades at any time. You just show up.
Yeah.
It's a specific Club 33 area. So there's other perks too. Like if you go into like a Disney cruise, you might get upgraded for free because they see you're a Club 33 member.
Right.
There's a lot of things like that.
Right. Right.
Um, so it's cool, like in that way, like if you can use it for business needs, but you
Yeah.
can't like donate for charity, any of those things. So you can't.
Right.
Oh, you also get 51 day passes at their park hopper. You just hand out to people. So if you
Wow.
add up all the money, it actually like in the beginning it was I think 25K or 33K to join, and
Yeah.
15,000 a year for dues. Now at
Wow.
85K, it's a lot. Like that's a lot, a
That's a
lot.
lot of money.
So I'm not sure. Like I've been on the waiting list, but I think they cleared it. I've been on the waiting list for like 17 years now. They cleared it after COVID though. So I don't. I heard because I met somebody. I was sitting in the VIP section for a tour for the fireworks, and I sit next to this couple, and they had just become Club 33 members. I think a year,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Wait, how did you? How did you get that?" They're like, "Oh, we called." And they were like, "Oh, we have open spots if you want to do it right now." And I was like, "Wait, what?" It's usually like I've been on the list for 12 years. And this was five years ago. And they're like, "Oh, I don't know. I just called." And I was like, and so then I learned that they had cleared the entire list. This is like a 20, 30 year waiting list. They cleared it post COVID because they figured everybody was probably bankrupt at this point. So like they're like, let's just restart it.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
Yeah. So that was
If you didn't
crazy.
know, then you would
Yeah,
name.
if you didn't know. And you have to be they run your credit and you have to have a perfect credit score and you have to pay in full, not a credit card. You got to pay the full 85K in a wire transfer in cash like that. So they know you're good.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's the people that, know. I mean, yeah. I mean, I only did Disney once really, so I did the VIP and I was like, that's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
One,
that's the way to do
one
it.
time. I was like, it's nice because we rode on 18 rides in a day and we
Yep.
went to all the things that we wanted to go, but like it's just one time and I'm good. So I'm not really a Disney person,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
No, no, no. I totally
Fortunately
get it.
or
I totally get it.
yeah.
It can
Um,
be daunting. Like if you don't, you know what I mean? But see, that's how I like you have to do the tour. That's like the
yeah,
easiest way to do it.
yeah. Well, I booked it through a special agent that does that, you
Yeah.
know.
Well, you can
Yeah.
do the tour any. Oh, I see. I see. So it
Yeah,
wasn't, you didn't.
to help me
Oh,
with
yeah, yeah.
the
You had a travel agent book it for you. Yeah.
yes, yes.
And that's good because they'll
It,
give you some kind of
it,
credit and like hook
right.
you up
The
with
Disney
stuff.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I find that if I book a cruise, if I book a Disney cruise specifically with a travel agent, with my travel agent, not every travel agent gives as good. I used to get 10% back on onward
Wow.
credit. Now it's like 7%, but
Wow.
like it's definitely worth understanding why a travel agent is worth going
It's
through.
going through, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. But apparently Costco will give you 10% back in a Costco card, gift card, after you come back from your cruise
Oh, nice.
on
Oh,
all the cruises, any cruise line.
cool.
So it's like, it's nice to get value. You're like looking at
Yeah, definitely.
value,
Yeah.
trying to like figure out like you just came back from St. Lucia
Yes.
and you and I both love St. Lucia, but we do St. Lucia a little bit differently because you did the hike
Yes.
and I was like not about that life.
Well, most people don't do the hike because I think that there were a lot of people who were like, "Are you crazy doing the hike?" Definitely. It was yeah, the Grand Teton. So that was like a 2,000 something vertical hike. It was like 2 hours up, 2 hours down. Both were hard. Going up and down are difficult because some of the boulders are like hip high. So you're climbing like that's one step, and so it was definitely challenging going up and down. But yeah, it was nice to do it and to say that I did it. And then afterwards we got massages, so it was really nice.
So wait,
So
what is the weed laws over there in St. Lucia? Did you fly in?
well,
Yeah, you flew in. You didn't
yeah,
cruise
I
in.
flew in, but yeah, it's very loose. I mean, you can get it like the last time I was there, I just got it on the beach, like just randomly asking
Oh,
the person, but
okay.
I brought it with me. So,
Okay.
I
So
think
it's
that
legal.
they're
I'm assuming it's legal then.
it's not legal there though.
Oh,
It's
it's like
I don't
decriminalized.
it's
Or not even
just
that.
I
Normal
don't think
black
it's
market.
even that, but I think it's just like it's just so commonly done that, I'm sure they have some grows on the island itself, but they're
Hmm.
not legal. And I think that
Okay.
I mean I didn't really, but I know that it's not like technically like legal in a lot of those places. So,
Oh,
if you
okay.
get it off, on the illicit side or just bring your own, but then just smoke it very discreetly. So I didn't do it in the open or anything like that
But
or,
was it like, did you get chronic or did you get swag?
Um, no, I mean, I mean, I don't think it's just like one of those things that is just no, it's just not it's like an open secret.
So you got chronic.
Yeah.
Okay, because when I went to, this is many years ago, but I went to Freeport, Bahamas, which like nobody seems to go there, but we have a timeshare location there. So I was like, oh, let's go there. And we got so bored. I think we were there for 5 days and we were so bored out of our minds that we eventually, I was like, I'm so desperate to have some random guy at the Xanadu, the actual Xanadu hotel where Howard Hughes lived
Yeah.
for I don't know how long, but he lived there. So that hotel was right there. So we're at the Xanadu beach, and there's like this guy who's just on the beach selling lobsters. And I go, hey, and I ask him like, do you know where you can get any? Because like we were so bored here. He's like, oh yeah, I can totally hook you up. So then he goes, can you watch all my stuff? So we're literally like manning his business, but nobody was coming. It was like chill. So he went, came back, and I think I had a half ounce of swag for the price of chronic.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was so desperate and we were so happy to like not be bored out of our mind because
Yeah.
I'm just like, coming from New York, it's very hard to go into an island life and not be bored for
Not be
us.
bored.
I'm just so there's a lot of like
Do.
stimulation normally.
Well, that's also part of me going hiking. It was something to do, that I was like,
Ah, makes sense now.
thing to do.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, at least I was active in the morning and then it justifies being lazy in the afternoon.
Yeah. But you stayed at Sugar Beach, which is
I did say at Sugar Beach, so it was really nice.
so you had the best view constantly.
constantly. I had
That was smart.
they had a snorkeling area right there. So it
Okay.
was a snorkeling site that like, a lot of people, like go to, and
Yeah.
everything like that. So that was nice. But yeah, no, it's definitely one of those places that it was as a Caribbean island, I think it's like one of a
Oh, one
nicer
of the
one.
best. Yeah.
Geographically, it's so interesting versus some of the other islands, I think. And then we went at a perfect time, so early December, so it was great. So,
Yeah. I mean, you definitely want to see the pythons because they definitely it's awe inspiring. Like even now, it's one of our favorite photos. You
yeah.
know what I mean? So that's a good place. I haven't been to Aruba yet. I need to go there. Have you been to Aruba?
No, I actually haven't been, but
Okay, I'm
yeah.
curious about Aruba.
Um,
Yeah.
Almost up time, so I just wanted to, yeah, but like about maybe like a few more minutes or anything, but yeah. So, but yeah, no, I mean, I have a lot of trips coming up, and I'm definitely considering where I'm going to be bringing it. My next trip is going to be Switzerland, so I'll definitely be taking some stuff I think with me, maybe like just to kind of. But I have to look at the Switzerland laws. So last time I was in Italy, and Italy was easier because
Yeah.
not easier, but they didn't care. I've done it a few times bringing it to Italy. Switzerland, I'm not sure.
Portugal, totally decriminalized in Portugal. If you ever
Yeah,
want to go on a
Portugal's fine.
vacation, go to Portugal. If you're going to
I'm
New York,
flying
on
through
Trade
from
Point.
Portugal, so hopefully like that
Perfect.
there is that. But then I'm going to Bali and I'm like, that's not gonna happen. I'm going on
I
a
feel
retreat.
like, I mean, Bali's Muslim, but I also feel like they probably are.
Yeah,
I'll find out from my friends that like have a connection to Bali. I'll
yeah,
try to find out for you. More like intent, like on the ground, as opposed to just on
yeah.
the computer kind of thing.
Right.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming
Yeah.
back to follow up and like talk and chat and catch up.
Mhm.
And if you want to come back anytime, well, let us know. Let's also like discuss future collabs and see
Oh
what else
yeah.
and drive business to you.
Mhm.
Because you have honestly the best dispensary in all of New York City.
Yeah.
So I don't know why anybody would not go. But they just don't know. So we just have to
Yeah.
like let people know that you're there and, have a little
Definitely come
pipeline going.
by if you guys are all in New York, Alta Dispensary in Chinatown, Nolita area, Kenmare Street between Mott and Elizabeth. So we're rarely, it's one of those things where I really wanted a little bit mainstream and a little, it is a little bit on the, our pricing is not on the, on the bougie side, but we definitely the aesthetics are. And it's just more about, I thought of it more of as a welcoming space for people to come in that are from all walks of life. Like even if you are from just beginning to, things and really introing it to people who are not familiar that it could help. So, kind of, balancing both, and introducing people to it. So it's mood based to how you want to feel is, one of the questions we ask. It's all organized by how you want to feel. So versus how you want to consume, because a lot of people who are new to it don't even know how to do that. So don't even know where to start, where you should start your journey and stuff like that. So, but we also have like concentrates and, now we have like, some, dab rigs and stuff like that. So there are levels that you can go and, take advantage of. So we kind of offer a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and just mention, are we the only one spot? I heard you on there, and then she'll hook you up. You
I
buy
will,
some stuff,
yeah.
and you'll get hooked up with
Yeah, we can get
some
some,
cool stuff.
percentages off for sure. So just mention it and definitely hook you up.
And then, so for next time, we'll talk about collabing. And what's the address of Alta Dispensary?
Oh, 52 Kenmare Street, store A, in Manhattan. So between Mott and Elizabeth. So
It's a
yes.
really good location. And if anybody wants to see what it looks like, I have the tour on the podcast. You just got to go down on Substack and scroll down. You'll see the tour of Alta Dispensary if you're curious to see what it looks like. It's beautiful. It's super blush pink, gorgeous, very chic, and by far the nicest dispensary I've ever been to. Um,
Thank you so
the
much.
only thing that you need is whenever consumption can happen would be the best thing
I
next. That's
know.
like the only thing.
I mean, we
So
still do yoga and we still do yoga. Like we're having yoga this Sunday with some like sound bath and yoga, like a new flow kind of thing. So we still do kind of those things and try to get the community involved in it. And also and we have a pop-up with Eterna, one of the brands, New York brands and stuff like that to kind of like integrate. You can integrate cannabis into your like yoga lifestyle or exercise lifestyle routine and just using it on an everyday basis to kind of help you get you through the day instead of using maybe some alternatives like chemical, pills and things like that. So, Yeah.
Yeah, and you can always email Alta Dispensary or check out their Instagram and just ask them questions and like they'll guide you. So if you're new to this like kind of like the space or new to this idea, this is a very safe place to go. So you should feel free to like reach out to her. You could reach out to the pod or whatever. We can help you and just like get you entreed into there just to see how to like chill out especially if you're trying to quit drinking or quit something else. It's a good transitional thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, with that, thank you so much for joining, Vanessa. We'll see you again whenever you like. Give us a like or a follow on Substack, on Instagram, on TikTok, and always please don't forget to stop by Alta Dispensary if you're in New York City. Whether you actually want to partake in THC or CBD, she
Yeah.
can help you out. All right, thank you so much. Until next time, love you.